Marvel releases? Oh, okay.
No, I mean just the releases for this week. Like, I mean, the only thing that fucking matters is Fourth World and motherfucking Mark Waid, Captain America. Yeah,
Motherfucking Captain America is right.
Motherfucking Captain America, that fool.
I'm still on the fence about that fourth. I'm gonna have to wait until you get Fourth World because I know you're all about that shit.
Dude, that's gonna happen. That's a fact. That's given.
I know when you make love to your wife, you think of Jack Kirby artwork.
Oh man, sometimes you need that extra kind of thought process in the back to get things started.
Don't let Omar bait you into buying anything he has no intention of buying.
Oh, dude, I'm all about fourth. Yeah, I'm not gonna let him get. I'm not gonna let him jest me.
Oh, are we using jest as a verb now?
It is. Fucking Mo.
Get jest.
Get jest.
Are we live?
Random ass book.
Yeah, we are live.
We're live.
We're live.
This is the drinking game.
I told you we were going live. Come on.
I said, Jess, go get some painkillers.
No. Are you guys ready? And everybody said yes. And then we put your pants on. All right. So what up, everybody? What up, Omnibus Collectors? Welcome to the Monday night edition of Omnibroslive. I am Gabe Infinity Watch. I'm hosting tonight. And with me, we got the normal cast of characters. Starting on my Google Hangouts, we got Mr. Just Bragg, the man himself. What's up, Jess?
Yo, hit him with the hind. What's up, dude?
I'm great, man. I'm doing really well. I was saying earlier in our little pre-chat, just I'm coming down off of the craziness from the signings this weekend. But yeah.
Yeah, you had a big weekend.
It was a crazy weekend. And then this show would not be the same anymore without a lot of alcohol. Yes. The physical abundance of alcohol is manifested into one person tonight, and that person is our main man from near mint condition. We have Omar with us as well today. What up, Omar?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I really am trying to sober up right now. That's why I'm sticking to beer.
Good job.
I'm working out of town. What else are you gonna do? I'm in Indianapolis, man. It's either drinking or
no place.
Yeah, So, thanks for having me, guys. I am so ready to talk about tonight's topic.
Say it. And say what the book title is.
Identity Crisis.
Very good.
See how often we fucked that up tonight.
I think you were the one that was fucking that up.
No, that's true. It's going to turn into Johnny Walker Crisis later.
Is that what you're drinking?
That's what I'm drinking.
Oh, my man.
Well, it's just red. It's just the scummy version of it. But what's funny is, I'll tell you guys a quick story. At the signing for Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, I tell you guys, we all know that John from System of a Down owns the store. And on Saturday, Serge, the lead singer from System of a Down, showed up. And he showed up with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue for everybody. Not everybody, but they went in the back and did what they had to do or whatever. So this customer texted his girlfriend and was like, hey, Serge just came in with Johnny Walker Blue. His girlfriend texts back, that's fucking awesome. Who's Johnny Walker?
Oh.
But anyways, let's go ahead and kind of get the party started tonight.
Try and catch up to Omar.
I didn't bring enough with me to catch up to Omar. I partied with Omar. He's crazy. We'll do it again in January. We're going to do that again pretty soon.
I've been drinking bourbon. Kentucky boy, man. You got to drink bourbon.
That's right. All right. So we all know part of Omar's haul is going to be alcohol.
My haul consists of me hauling my ass back to the hotel room to do this fucking show. That's my haul.
You don't have anything with you? You didn't buy anything this week?
I brought this piece of shit book. I'm sorry, this Identity Crisis. Awesome piece of literature.
All right.
Actually, I did. I brought Battle Angel Alita with me. I was gonna.
I don't know what that is. Is that like a blow-up doll or something?
Give me a minute.
Oh, he's got it inflated. That's what's going on. He's serious, man. He's like, wait a second, I'm taking my headphones off.
One of the greatest cyberpunk manga ever written from the 90s, back in print, in hardcover. I love this book. There was a certain gentleman, I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy, his name's James Cameron. He was trying to make a movie for like the last 15 years based on this book. Like the technology he developed for Avatar was specifically to make a Battle Angel Alita movie, but never came to be. I just found out recently that it's going to be actually somebody from the group told me it's going to be Robert Rodriguez that is now doing the movie. Comes out, I think, sometime next year.
Cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Maybe have Salma Hayek in it. He's pretty good about getting her in movies.
No. Alita's really young. Maybe Selena Gomez. So.
Dibs.
Yep. So, what did you guys haul this week?
Chris, go ahead and you start, man.
I hauled hard this week.
Oh, man.
I got 2 boxes in from In Stock Trades. I went, that's out of order right there. I went, first, Postal is a book that I love, and I know that it's part of a trilogy that I found out through the group. Written by the same guy, Matt Hawkins. So I picked up, I wanted to read everything from the trilogy. So I've got Postal, all the books. So I picked up all of Think Tank. So 1 through 5 of Think Tank.
Who's that written by again?
Matt Hawkins. Okay. He's the guy that did Postal, which I love. Then I got 3 books. I'm really excited about this. The book, The Tithe. That's also set somewhere in this universe that he's written.
Oh, yeah. I remember when that book was first coming out.
Yeah. And then Eden's Fall, which has something to do with everything. It's a big crossover. So I think I'm going to take a break from Rebirth and read all that and get all caught up on that. Then I got Lost Vegas, because I remember reading this in floppies and I really liked it. And it's been a while since I've read it.
I know where that place is.
Yeah, Lost Wages. Then I got a bunch of stuff off my there was an Image Comics sale, so that's why I got so much Image Comics. I got Non-Humans, which is cool. I think it's already been optioned for a screenplay and a movie and a TV show and a video game or whatever.
You said there was an Image sale? Where at? On IST or?
There was, yeah.
Okay.
It was like a Black Friday thing.
I haven't been to that.
There was an Image sale. I got the first issues back in stock of Nowhere Men, so I got that. Some artwork from Nowhere Men. And I got the first issue. Actually, I think it's Self-Contained Imperial from Image. No, this is from, it's from Image. So I got that. This is written by Stephen T. Siegel, the guy that wrote It's a Bird, It's a Plane. So I like him. I got books 1 and 2 of Horizon from Image. These are all things that I read in floppies a long time ago. Also from Image, Hawaiian Dick, Volume 3. I got the second volume. I've read the first volume of Four Eyes. This is great. The guy actually is a kid in a ghetto, and he ends up inheriting a dragon. That is really cool. I like this one.
Inherited a dragon?
Yeah. A dragon. The dragons are real in this this book. And
wait, are you saying dragons aren't real normally?
Don't we have like Komodo dragons and Bruce Lee?
We've all chased the dragon.
Somebody's riding the dragon right now. I'm riding the dragon.
Riding the dragon. No.
Voice in the Dark from Image.
Is that Beyonce?
Yeah, all bloodied.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah, this was a good book. I remember reading it in floppies. Then I got Autumn Lands by Kurt Busiek, Volume 1, because I had Volume 2, and I kind of needed Volume 1 to start, so I decided to get that. Got an awful lot of Image stuff. Then this is a series I love. This is not Image. This is IDW, I think. Dynamite, rather. Damsels. This is like Cinderella and Rapunzel have their own kingdoms and shit, and they're fighters, and it's really great. I love damsels. They're badass chicks. Then the final volume, sadly, of Fables. I got that, volume 15. So now I can, God, what a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
So I will start my Fables reread through.
Fuck. I want those hardcovers so bad, but 15 it just sounds so daunting to kind of start over again with.
Dude, here. This is what you do.
Omar, no.
You sell your trade paperback.
No.
You sell your trade. Listen, hear me out. You sell your trade paperbacks for $40, and then you buy all the hardcovers. What's up?
If I get the hardcovers for $40,
you know what's going to happen as soon as you buy all the hardcovers? An omnibus will be announced, and then you can sell your hardcovers for $50 and buy the 15 omnibuses. Because that's the shit that I do.
And then last, I finally broke down and got volumes 1 and 2 of Sunstone. These are
more lesbian porn.
Lesbian BDSM. There's nothing wrong with these books. They are brilliantly beautiful books. They got gorgeous art, fun writing. Ugh! So that was my haul.
Jesus.
And
jeez, man. Well, you fucking win.
Yeah. Look at his big dick all over here. Shit.
I bought a manga.
Well, I didn't have anything last week. All this stuff was in the mail. So it all caught up to me last week.
Damn.
Yeah, I got some reading ahead of me.
So I didn't get a whole lot, but let's see. First off, I want to give a shout out to I don't see Jimmy Owens in the chat yet.
Oh, did you get your comic book?
I got my comic book, and I got the incredibly beautiful note that he left for me too.
Yeah, it's really nice of him.
Yeah, it's my first piece of fan mail, and it's awesome. I put it up on my Instagram if you guys want to check that out.
Oh, you put his letter up?
I put
his private personal letter?
Yeah, the letter up, and then I got Boys Number 2 autographed by Derek and Grant. So that's super awesome.
Oh, wait, is it both their signatures?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. I still have my copy. I thought it was just Derek's signature.
Nah, man, no, he got them on both. Or he got both of them on him. I'm moving up from Johnny Walker to Dasani Sparkling Lime Water.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to piss in your parade, guys, but
you're gonna do it anyways.
Jimmy Owens sent me something too. It was some sperm samples signed by Grant Morrison. So
yeah, did you swallow it already?
I may have taken shots earlier when I ran out of liquor.
All right, and then so as I was saying earlier, we had a Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo at the store, and I got everything I have. Scott Snyder has already been signed. I met him a few times before at conventions and other stores, but I think this was, from my understanding, Greg's first store signing. But I got him to autograph my Fatal Attractions omnibus, since he did.
I have to ask, did he remember working on those issues?
He remembers. He loved that stuff, dude. Yeah.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. One of the other managers for the company, the guy that he's the guy that does all about grading and pricing, and he's an overshoot advisor. His name's Steve. One of his favorite books of all time is Quasar.
Oh yeah,
so
he did Quasar.
Yeah, that was like his first work at Marvel was Quasar. So he got about 3 or 4 issues of Quasar signed. So he got the one, the Demi Moore pregnant cover. Quasar's pregnant. He got that book signed. That was really cool.
Oh yeah.
And then I also got Greg to sign the totally awesome, beautiful dust jacket. I don't care what anybody says. I think this dust jacket is bitching. Deadpool and X-Force Omnibus, or X-Force Volume 2 Omnibus. So I got him to sign that as well.
Very nice.
And on the following day, we had Donnie Cates and Mark Brooks signing. And I bought this beautiful Mark Brooks print of all the different versions of Carol
you even threw binary in there. Cool.
That's what flipped me up, and I saw it. I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. Oh, he fucking put binary in here too. That's what sold me on this print. I mean, other than the gorgeous women on here already.
The boobs. Okay.
Yeah. Besides the midriff and the side boob action, but so he signed it, and I also asked him to sign it in his Japanese signature too.
Yeah, I love when he does that.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't even know if that's legit, but I just assume it's.
I know.
Legit.
He was with his wife and son are Asian descent. I don't know exactly what nationality, but yeah. But this thing is beautiful. I love this thing, and it's on like if you see Mark Brooks, buy one of his prints. This isn't some shitty thin ass paper. Like this thing is beautiful. It's like super thick stock paper and everything.
You gonna have that framed?
I'm gonna get it framed for sure. And I think our owner, John bought an original from him. That motherfucker. Original piece of art. Like his stuff is beautiful in person. It is nuts how great those things are.
He's a nice guy. I met him at what's it called, Dragon Con. Really nice.
Yeah, I know he's very nice. Like his kid is really cool. His kid's probably like 10, and his wife is really cool. Like Donnie Cates is cool. Like on my Instagram, you can see pictures of me with Donnie Cates. I was throwing up the Infinity Gauntlet since he's the new writer of Thanos. But yeah, all around good time. Oh, I got this bitchin' shirt too.
Oh,
this Thanos Notorious B.I.G. kind of shirt going on.
Yeah, I see it. That's cool, man.
Other than that, I still haven't opened it. It's still just been sitting in my attic. But I got the Aliens LP. It's 4 LPs, right? Right, Jess?
Yeah, 3 colored ones and 1 black vinyl.
This thing is badass, and it also came with a really cool print too.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I didn't know it was coming with a print. I forgot that.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like taped to the bottom of the box. Like
yeah, that was weird.
But yeah, that's it for my haul. That's everything I got the last couple of days. This is gonna be a week where I have to pick and choose what to get because it's kind of a crazy week this week. But we'll get into that later when we talk about this week's releases.
Oh, I saw a floppy that I bet you're excited about. Rocco's Modern Life is coming out. Oh,
is that coming out this week? Fuck. Yeah, I got that on my list.
Yeah, I figured you'd be big into that.
Rocco and the new, it's not Fantastic Four yet, but the Thing 2-in-1 with Human Torch. Those are the only singles I have on my pull list. Everything else at work, my pull list is just like coming out and stuff like that. So, all right. So that's our segment of Show Us Your Haul. What did you guys read this week? Anything other than Identity Crisis?
I did read Battle Angel Alita again. Okay. I haven't read that book since, Jesus, it's been 90s, probably 94, 95 since I last read it, because I wanted to do a video review of it in comparison to an earlier release, like the Viz Studio release, because this book is gorgeous. I definitely recommend it to anybody.
The cover looks really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I loved it. I love this book. She was one of my early crushes in anime manga. So, yeah, I read that.
Real quick, I forgot one more thing I got. A customer from the store came back from Japan.
Oh, cool.
The Kit Kat.
And he got me Kit Kats from Japan.
What flavor?
Sweet potato.
That is so Japanese.
Yeah, I'm worried it's going to turn into like Jess and a different flavored Oreos kind of thing if I try and keep them.
That's right. They have multiple flavors over there of Kit Kats.
Hey, Gabe, somebody was asking if you asked Scott Snyder about his Batman Omnibus. I'm going to go get a beer while you tell him.
About Batman Omnibus?
Yeah.
I know he did say something about an American Vampire Omnibus in the works. And we did have a discussion about Batman New 52. I don't think what he said to me was secret, but he did say that there will be more absolute versions of Batman New 52. So
you heard it here first.
Yeah, so he did say something about there being more absolutes for the rest of the New 52 Batman run. I don't know when or how or what's going to happen, but he did say something about that.
Oh, you went ahead and told him? I went ahead and released it on Instagram and Twitter about an hour ago. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. I don't have
my signed Scott Snyder Court of Owls got destroyed in the flood. I was so bummed about that.
Oh, did you get a replacement or no?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
If he's back at AwesomeCon this year, I'll get it and maybe take it to get it signed again.
If not, I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure we have them. He didn't know either, but we have them booked for later, I think, in the year or later in 2018. So if anything comes up, we'll talk about it. You can just send it to me and I'll get it signed for you if push comes to shove.
Oh, hey, Jess, John P's asking about JLA. What's the word on JLA?
I haven't read it yet. I'm still bitter about it, so I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay. See, it wasn't me this time. Wait, no. Aren't you supposed to pick up some JLA hardcovers for somebody? Maybe that's what he was asking.
Oh, that. Yeah, I'm sorry, John. Yeah, no, I'm going to be doing that. I called the store. They have them. I'll be picking them up later this week.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah. Matt Snyder did say that he did see a Death in the Family absolute in the works. So there you go.
So look at
he may or may not have shared other sensitive information, and I'm not going to say, but I'm going to brag that he did tell me stuff. So I do know other stuff.
If you guys want to know what it is, I am 3 shits under the wind, and I will be happy to share with you if Gabe is not. Because Scott Snyder and I are really good friends on Twitter, and he shared some information with me that you may want to know.
Oh yeah, Matt. Also, I did get a couple copies of Batman Annual #2. That were super sold out before they even went to stores.
Yeah, I had to call my store to have it pulled for me because I was afraid I would never be able to get it, even though I don't collect floppies. I bit into the hype.
Jess, give them a call. Give them a call back or something because I think there was an issue. Most of ours came like ripped, like pages randomly in the middle of the book came ripped.
Wow.
I think it's like I don't want to say like a widespread issue, but I think it's a widespread issue.
Wow. Okay, I'll check that.
Yeah, double check that for sure.
Oh yeah, so John Wilson's asking. Jay Lewis gave me a signed Scott Snyder print of it was Death of the Family, I think. A really nice print that had both their signatures on it, Snyder and Capullo's. He gave that to me. That's a really nice print. No, it was not a nude John Goodman print.
I wish.
To my knowledge, Capullo is not drawn John Goodman nude. Not yet.
That's
I'm going to ask him next time I see him.
John Goodman from Roseanne season 4. Hot.
Was that when he was really heavy or was that when he started losing weight?
I don't fucking know. Just throwing a random season out there.
He'd have been like the man who understands the weight of that man. And
you know what? I will have to share with you guys sometime the best Tony Moore sketch I've ever gotten. Never tell Tony Moore draw whatever you want because he will come with like the best thing you'll ever have. And you can't.
It sounds like a good idea to say draw whatever you want.
Draw whatever you want to an artist. Well, to an artist like somebody like Tony Moore too. I just don't have it with me because I'm in a hotel.
Did you get your job to pay to like bring your like weird anime toys with you everywhere you go? to help you feel comfortable away from home.
Weird anime toys. Really? That's what we are calling them?
That was me being nice. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Whatever. I can't wait to talk about your shitty book. All right.
What shitty book?
Are we talking about? Am I still talking about? Wait, did I start talking about what I read?
Not really.
Oh no. Go ahead, Jess.
Okay, I read Rose. This is a good book. It's a book with magic and evil queens, and I'm going to review it for my channel. And there's evil and lots of magic, and a girl that becomes she has latent magical powers, and there's these giant panthers that are called guardians, and she communicates with them. There's like the last of the guardians, and there's all sorts of sorcery and sword fighting, and it's just this was a recommendation from my LCS. It was great. So yeah, I'm going to review this, and I dug it a lot. And also, a book that I read was another suggestion from actually somebody in the group said I should get Regression. That was good. This guy goes into his past life, a past life regression, and when he comes out of it, he brings back something horrible and evil with him. And of course, I'm all about the horrible and evil stuff. So this was great. To volume 2. That would have been a good October read. Then I finished Clean Room, volume 2 and 3. I read volume 1 a little bit ago, and this is, in my opinion, Gail Simone's finest work.
Really?
I think, wow. And I think the world of her. I think the absolute world of her. And this is Clean Room is just the best thing she's ever written.
Who's the publisher?
This is a Vertigo title. And
man, I've never heard of that title. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, you'd love this, Omar. The art in the first 2 books is really great. I mean, just off the charts, fantastic. The same artist did not draw number 3, so it drops a little bit in number 3, but not too much. But this was a solid, one of my best of 2017s. Came out in 2017. I loved Clean Room, and I'm halfway through The Complete Phonogram by McElvey and Gillen. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did you say McElvey?
McElvey and Gillen. Yeah, this was their first work together, I think. And I'm not sure if it's a pretentious bunch of shit or if it's just over my head. I'm having trouble getting into it, unfortunately, which is weird because I read the first 2 trades and I remember really liking them. But now that I'm reading them, I'm just like, what? Where is he going with this? What's up with this?
Are you listening to the vinyl soundtrack, the suggested vinyl soundtrack?
Yeah, he does have that. Yeah. It's all about...
As you're reading it, I mean?
He does have that, yeah, suggested soundtrack. It's all about music. These guys are called phonomancers. They use music as magic. And it's a cool concept. I thought the first arc was just sort of... I don't know. I said pretentious, but the second arc is better so far. The second arc I'm getting into, and then the third arc I haven't read before. So I'm looking forward to finishing that up and getting it out of my life. And then I read...
Getting it out of your life?
Wow. Yeah, I'm not digging it. But I have to.
Isn't it the one about people becoming back as gods or something? Or gods coming down as...
No, that's Wicked and Divine. That's awesome.
I like that story. But that's the same
game too, right? That's the same
team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I love that book.
I also own Phonogram based on my enjoyment of Wicked and Divine. I haven't started reading it yet, though.
Well, I
can see why you say. I mean, his writing is a little bit I can see pretentious. Yeah.
And it's possible it's just over my head. I mean, I am a college graduate, but I don't pretend to be super smart. So it's possible it's just over my head. And
is Gillen British?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem, man.
Well, and it's all about
we're not smart enough.
Music too. Yeah.
We're not smart enough, Jess.
Yeah, that may be it. It may be the greatest book ever, and I'm just too stupid.
Well, according to John P. and John Wilson, so both Johns, they both say that it's pretentious shit because Gillen's an asshole.
Oh.
See, there you go.
All right, Matt Miranda, Stockton in the house.
What?
My college town.
You set tripping over here? Are you from Stockton?
And then the last book. I grew up in California, but I went to school in Stockton. Yeah, UOP. That's where Matt lives. I visited him last year when I did my West Coast tour. And the last thing I read was the follow-up to the fabulous Identity Crisis. It was Crisis of Conscience. And I read that, and this book was really good. I actually liked this book a lot. I actually liked it better than Identity Crisis.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this book.
I was born in Akron, moved to California, went to school in Stockton, and now I live in Virginia, John P. I'm from all over the place. But yeah, I was born in Akron. So that's what I read.
Cool. Well, I didn't read anything besides our reading assignment, so I guess we can kind of start with that then.
All right, why don't you lead, man, since you haven't said much.
Oh, let me see. So this week, I don't know how often we're going to do this. I want to do this, a few times a month, if not, whatever. I like this idea of us doing reading assignments so that everybody has a chance to kind of get involved with the show and just, state their opinion and we have something to talk about. But this reading assignment is Identity Crisis.
Damn, look at you, man. You guys pull out your absolutes. I still have my shitty, not even oversized hardcover. That's how strongly I felt about this book. I'm like,
that you used to upgrade it.
I got it for $30 from Hamilton Books, so I figured why not.
Well, I thought the absolute had a printing mistake in it, but that they never resolved. It literally is like minimal. It's like a page or something. That
is the printing mistake. Just Rag Morales' artwork.
Yeah,
no,
I think that's where we.
Wow, we're gonna dive right in there, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna rip him apart.
So yeah, we're talking about Identity Crisis by is it Brad Meltzer?
Yeah,
Brad
Meltzer. Yeah, man. Hey, before we get started, I will say that a lot of people have been reading it based on you guys suggested reading. I know. Was it? Oh, it was Benjamin Pineros. He did an awesome review of it that almost made me change my mind about the book. Almost.
Yeah, Benjamin did do a good review of it and made a good point that it's all about love. Right. That was an excellent point.
We're getting the topics of all the different meanings behind this book and everything, I'm sure. But that's why I wanted to do this, because a lot of people base a lot of their reading and buying on things that we talk about in the show. So I wanted to make it more of a community thing where we all do it together. And
I think it's a great idea. I have to say, this is probably the most in recent years the most controversial book you could have started with.
Yeah,
that's what started this. Was me and Jess was talking about something. Somehow Identity Crisis came up, and I think it was you and Riley, or I know Riley was saying that he just didn't like it, but we were saying how it was just very polarizing. It's very split down the middle when it comes down to comic book community in general, but especially our group. And me and Jess were talking about, well, we read it in singles and we remembered liking it a lot. So
before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and call the next reading assignment Avengers: The Crossing.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Welcome. If I had it, dude, I'd be cool with that. But
I fucking love Avengers: The Crossing, but
we got to figure out the next one to do. I said Infinity Gauntlet because somebody mentioned it. I think Gio mentioned Infinity Gauntlet because of the trailer that came out, but Jess doesn't have it anymore because it got destroyed in this flood, I guess.
No, I actually sold it.
Oh, you sold it. That's right.
So I could get the box set. I mean, you can do it. I just won't take part in the conversation. I'm waiting for the box set in March or whenever it's coming out.
You've read Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah, like 5 years ago, though. I don't think I could comment on it coherently.
Do you have Marvel Comics Unlimited?
Sorry?
You have Marvel Comics Unlimited?
I do, yeah.
You can just do that.
Just read the main story?
Well, I was thinking about my idea, for just getting off topic, but my mapping of it was going to be Thanos Quest, the Silver Surfer, like Thanos Reborn issues, and then Infinity Gauntlet was my initial idea. I don't think you enjoy Infinity Gauntlet without reading those books.
Which you can find for like $20 everywhere because everybody hates it.
Yeah, see, that's not polarizing. Everyone hates it. There's nobody that likes it. Except you.
Infinity Gauntlet, we just don't have Tyler Chu just doing the emoji everywhere. If you do Infinity Gauntlet, it'll be just Tyler Chu doing the throw up emoji all over the place.
Right.
I love that he doesn't like it. Like, literally, when you think about it, it's just some dude trying to impress his chick. All right, let's kick it off. Gabe, go ahead, man.
Let's get back on topic. Yeah, so Brad Meltzer, Rags Morales. I think this is Brad Meltzer's first comic book work, I want to say.
It absolutely is. This takes place before his Justice League of America run.
Yeah, and I think the Absolute is gorgeous. I got the Absolute for free. My first purchase in the group didn't go so well, and the guy, apologized and sent me Identity Crisis for free. So that's how I got this. But let's talk about how should we do this? Let's talk about overall. We'll talk about the book and the story, and then we'll get into spoilers afterwards. So that way, if anybody cares about spoilers or not, they could, bail out at the end or something like that.
I think this book is 13 years old. Just saying.
Yeah, but still, I mean, no one wants me to spoil, any other book, I would think.
Okay.
All right. Either way, this book is all about murder. It's really a whodunit murder mystery. That I think was really well executed from beginning to end. I'm not very familiar with the DC universe and its characters, but I respect the mythos and their characters and the pathos that the DC universe carries and holds. So I'm not really quite sure where the polarizing comes from. A lot of people say that the characters are very, very out of their character. And like I said, I'm not very familiar with it's because this book is very much about, I don't know, the B list of the JLA. I don't know if that's going to be offensive to somebody, but it's not really the Trinity. It's not really a Superman story too much or a Batman story. It's about other characters like Elongated Man. It's really based around Elongated Man. Some of the villains in this are just I really never heard of before, like the Calculator. Captain Boomerang plays a big part in this. The kind of relationships between like Green Arrow and Hawkman and Z play a big part of this as well. And Dr. Light, this isn't the first time I ever read. When I read this in singles, this is the first time I ever heard of Dr. Light. And I didn't know he was such a scumbag. Like, he's a terrible person. Like, he is so bad, he could probably be a politician. So,
well, I think that was one of the issues is that I think did they retcon that they made him such an evil. I mean, he was just a normal douchey JLA villain, and they made him, like a rapist.
Are we gonna start talking about retconning? Because I'll jump right in.
So we're gonna make a big old X-Men conversation again.
Yeah, actually, I'll let Gabe finish. Go ahead and finish your thoughts, Gabe. Because I really want to know what you thought of the story. Because you said from beginning to end, you really like the mystery.
It's definitely it's a mystery that really keeps you guessing the whole time. There's red herrings in it. there's very much a like look here, but it's really like you should have been looking over here a lot of times. So
I remember as that book was coming out, everybody had crazy ideas. I remember one of the theories was like, "Ooh, Nightwing's getting canceled at issue 100. It must be Dick Grayson that killed Sue Dibney." Things like that. It was huge. It was it was the biggest book that was coming out at the time.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it was coming out. I think I got caught up in the hype because again at that time, my DC knowledge was just very much like Batman, you know, at the time until like Death of Superman came around, and then like Joe Kelly later on when he took over JLA. That's really when I started getting more into the DC universe of things. But when this book came out, it was everywhere. I'm pretty sure Wizard was still around, so it was very getting blown up and publicized in Wizard with fan theories and who did it and murder mysteries, and they had the whole like, what's the chances of it being this person and this person and this person? Like, who really did it? So there's a lot of, it brought a lot of people together with guessing and trying to figure out who the murderer is. But I do think the absolute, I think it's very beautiful. It has a ribbon, which you don't see at all anymore in books. And I think that's a lost, that's kind of a lost art.
You're not buying the right publisher, man.
Really?
IDW does that in all their hardcover editions.
Oh, that's true. All my Turtles and my Transformers has them. Yeah. So anyway,
absolutes. I don't. You're right. Well, some of them, Sandman had them.
Really? I don't have any of the Sandman stuff. By the way, the story takes place and starts off with it being Elongated Man and his wife's anniversary, and every year she tries to trick him into some kind of detective story and like leaves him clues for all this stuff. It's very romantic and sweet. But unfortunately on this night, his wife, Sue Dibney, is murdered in their house. And that's what's really crazy because throughout the whole story, they keep talking about how everybody...
And she's pregnant.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and she was pregnant. So it's even worse. It's very Seven. You know, what's in the box kind of thing. But where was I going with it? Oh, yeah. So she is murdered in their home. And you start, it turns into almost like a secret invasion kind of thing where nobody's trusting anybody at this point.
And there's no clues at all. They can't find anything. Like the world's greatest detective, they can't find anything.
Right. They have like everybody, like people I've never heard of before, just popping up out of nowhere. Fucking Metalman motherfuckers are showing up. Like scouring for clues and evidence and things like that. Nothing. Mr. Miracle shows up with technology from Apocalypse and stuff like that, looking for everything. Batman's looking for clues. Nobody could find anything in this house. And apparently, this is kind of cool, everybody's home, because I guess in the DC universe, basically a lot of people's secret identities are known. And everybody's home is just, the security and the way the homes are built is with like Kryptonian technology and Thanagarian technology. And there's so much technology that will be able to detect if anybody was to like show up or face through a wall or teleport. Like everything is created to kind of keep literally a footprint of people coming in and out of people's homes and things like that. But there's absolutely nothing going on here.
Well, Elongated Man is one of the few whose secret identity is known.
Okay, so it's not like a everybody kind of thing?
Right.
Yeah, everybody knew Ralph and Sue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they were out. They've been out before even Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. Back in the Silver Age, he was unmasked and became, his secret identity became known.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the book a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think it's very much a story about family and the fear that you have. I have a new family. I have two very young kids, and it really touched on the. I mean, when you have a new family and young kids, you have the love, and you have this whole new experience with kids and love that I've never felt I could have for other people. But I think with that as well comes with fear and worry that you've never had before. and I know Jess has a grown up adult child, and Omar has a couple of kids too. So I don't know if you guys can speak on that as well. But for me, it's just after starting my own family, there's a lot of just kind of other fears and worries that come along with that, and the desire to want to protect them. And this story really plays on that hard. It feels like. What do you guys feel about that?
I'll wait. Go ahead, Jess.
You need another couple beers in you before you talk.
No, I have my thoughts. I just
Okay.
I would like to let everybody get their thoughts.
Yeah, well, I completely agree with you, Gabe, that it does play on the heightening of fears, because the secret identities are of the other heroes are put into play, and they start flipping out about their loved ones. And yeah, you're right. When you do have a family, that does bring in a whole new set of fears and worries. And this book does do a good job of selling you on the fact that even though these guys are superheroes, they do have the same kind of needs and wants and worries that regular people do because of their loved ones. So I completely agree with that. And I think what the polarizing aspect of it is that characters, as you said in the beginning, were acting out of character. I don't I didn't particularly feel that was that big of a deal to me in this book. I can see. I had no idea that Dr. Light had raped and assaulted Sue on the Watchtower, and that's why they go after him first. And the big deal, of course, is the mind wiping with the Zatanna and splitting the JLA in half. Half of them don't want her to do it, the other half do, because their identities become known, and so they want to wipe. She ends up wiping the identities of out of the mind of Dr. Light and some other guys. And the big issue, of course, is when Batman walks in the middle of it, and she ends up wiping out 10 minutes of his life, which is, of course, that's, I think, where the big controversy is that she meddles in Batman's mind because he's foursquare against any kind of mind wiping. And that's what the big story is in this Conscience of Crisis.
Oh, really?
Crisis of Conscience.
They touch on a lot more in that book.
That deals with the after effects of Batman finding out about it, and Despero's in it. Despero gives all the memories back to the criminals of the hero's identity, and Despero's an incredibly powerful telepath. I don't want to spoil this book because not a lot of people have read Crisis of Conscience. I don't think it's a countdown to Infinite Crisis. So Despero goes head to head with some of the telepaths in the JLA, gives the identities back, secret identities back to the criminals, and they use it to, for nefarious purposes. The thing that I think got me the most about Identity Crisis, I enjoyed it as a murder mystery because it kept me guessing. I never figured out who the villain was going to be, and I never figured out the motive until it was laid out in front of me. And I like the fact that it was there was no evidence whatsoever, despite all this incredible technology. I like the fact that there was no evidence, and that threw me off even more. And I thought it was interesting the way they checked down the list of all the possible people it could be, and they went for like the most obvious, and the person who did it was the least obvious. So I enjoyed it as a murder mystery in that respect, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conflict between the characters about what Zatanna was going to do. The thing that took me out of the story, and this may be a little thing to some people, but to me it's a big thing, was the art. I mean, the art really just was, considering what a big book this was. I mean, just this picture right here is what, I mean, you take a look at Superman here, and he looks like elongated man right there. It's like, where's his neck and where's his torso? It looks like he's stretching out.
I remember asking the group when we were reading this, I'm like, where did Rag Morales come from?
Yeah, I
think Gabe is the one that answered. He drew Hawkman, because you're right. You're absolutely right. Just for a big miniseries, a big event, you figured they would have a big name. I had never heard of Rag Morales as I was reading. I was reading these as they were coming out, and I had never heard of him because I vaguely remember his run of Hawkman, and then he did. I think he did some JSA stuff, but then you had Michael Turner on the art, the cover art.
Yeah,
and probably drew a lot of people into the book.
Right, I would have much rather had Michael Turner do the artwork, because he can't. Just the way he seems to have a problem. I'm trying to find some of these pictures of Clark Kent that he did, which were just remarkably bad. I mean, some of these shots of.
I just remember the funeral scene with with poor Ralph, like trying to keep it all together, and I don't know what he was trying to do when he was covering his mouth. I really don't know what the direction of that scene was, but it just felt so funny instead of, I'm sure I was supposed to be really sad.
Yeah, I mean, here's the picture right here of elongated man, and that's just like, what kind of weird cartoony stuff is this?
I will say he has drawn probably one of the most iconic, most powerful images, though, that I've ever seen as far as a comic book, and that's because I was looking for this page, because I do have some positive things to say about this book, and whether that's a spoiler or not, that is a really powerful page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that is Batman holding Tim Drake, right, like in the corpse of his father, and it's a beautiful page. It's sad, and I think, you know, they're off and on, like, there are some pages that he did kill it in.
So basically the story is there's somebody out there killing the loved ones of superheroes. Like, they're targeting like wives and fathers, and
because next up on the list is the hanging of Adam's wife, Jean.
Loring.
Yeah. And so that's when they really start flipping out.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is the
that's a big part of the story. I mean, that's the part of the story where that's the look here when you should have been like looking there, kind
right
of for sure. But on the art, but yeah, so on the art, let me see. Here's the one page that, I mean, again, I don't want to just turn this into just, you know, a hate video on Rags Morales.
You guys have been digging it so far. Like I said, that page with Tim Drake, that's powerful, man.
No, that's a beautiful page. I mean, I'll always remember that page for sure. That's one of the images from this book I remember from reading it in singles. But just this shot here of Superman's face, Clark Kent's face right here, where, I mean, I don't know what's going on here that has him make that expression, but I've made that expression before myself. It's usually when I shart my pants. It's usually when I'm like, you know, I got a stomach ache and I'm gonna fart, but I find out I got diarrhea the hard way. Kind of shot right there. But then again, like down here when he turns into, so you got Clark, and then he turns into Superman.
It's completely different.
It's like, yeah, it's completely cleaned up. There's a little bit of a glare. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this better, but the face is just completely just like the line work is cleaner and clear and more concise. But throughout the whole book, none of the characters really look the same. Like he draws them different in almost every other shot, it seems like. And if it wasn't for things like the costumes and things like that, I've had a hard time figuring out who that person is or who this person is, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, so the story, as we were saying, somebody kills Elongated Man's wife. Somebody goes after Adam's wife. Somebody kills Tim Drake's dad.
I think it's important to tell. I mean, you can get into spoilers here because I think that's part of the story.
Oh, but just real quick, I mean, I just want to just touch on the funeral. Like that was I don't know about you guys, but that hit me hard. I was crying like a little girl reading that scene. The whole thing.
Which one? The Sue Dibney funeral or the
Dibney funeral? Was there more than one funeral?
I think there was
on the book. But yeah, the Sue's funeral, and just all the things that were going on there, were like the speech that Wonder Woman gave, and just they did a great job, just really hitting you in like the heartstrings. Like I wasn't bawling, but I was having a lot of tears. Like I had to wipe away tears off my face from reading that scene alone. And then it turns into just Elongated Man just going, we're fucking going after Dr. Light. It was Dr. Light who did it because, and this is what kind of sparks the backstory that Dr. Light one time did raped his wife in the Watchtower. And that's the thing, like what Jess was saying is, if I remember correctly, they were mind-wiping villains before, and they were okay with the mind-wiping. But what really set them off was this time, because they knew it was just going to happen again and again and again and again, they changed Dr. Light's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Z went in there, Zatanna went in there and actually like tweaked his mind, more than just mind-wiping, but just changed him into like a bumbling idiot almost after that point. It was almost like he was a lobotomized or something. And that's the thing that Batman caught them doing, and that's what started that whole fight with Batman and all of those characters. And because of that, they had to mind-wipe Batman as well. And that was the whole thing where just like, one lie leads to another lie leads to another lie kind of thing. And that's what kind of started that whole thing off. Omar, what did you think though? You haven't said much. I know you got some strong opinions.
He's ready to erupt.
So this book came out in 2004. And back in 2004, I read it as it was coming because it was a huge book. I mean, everybody was reading it. I had friends that weren't even reading comics that were like, oh my God, have you heard of Identity Crisis? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, have you read it? Don't.
Well, it was a big deal because it was Brad Meltzer's.
Brad Meltzer was a writer, right? Like an author, published author.
The big author, yeah.
DC Comics. And I got excited because I'm like, oh my God, it's a reunion of the Justice League International. Then I read issue 1. I'm like, oh my God, it's a reunion of the Justice League International that I didn't want. What the fuck? I had a lot of issues with this book. Like, so first of all, there were a lot of high points. I think the whole Tim Drake dad thing, that really hit me. I thought that was a really good and powerful way that it was written. Tim losing his dad. And I know some people really hated that because they were like, why does the entire Bat family need to have, all these horrible things happen to them? Beside the point, I thought the way it was written was really powerful. I hated to see Tim, because, Tim had his mom and dad at first, and then his mom got killed by the voodoo doctor. I can't remember. And then his dad died in this, and it really hit me. Now we haven't come to the.
Do you want to talk about the circumstances of his dad dying? We want to just do full on.
Well, the circumstances were, Bruce adopted him.
What I'm saying is, do we want to just go into spoilers about the storyline and Captain Boomerang and everything?
Oh yeah, well yeah. So Tim Drake's dad and Captain Boomerang ended up killing each other. The original Captain Boomerang, who later comes back in Brightest Day, or the end of Blackest Night. So there were some issues I had, and rereading them, because I swore that I would never reread this book because I hated this book. I hated this book because I was a big fan of the JLI, And this book kind of destroyed those characters, because one of the things I hate is retconning. Right? I think retconning is a cheap way to make a story instead of making up your own story to move the characters forward. So they did some major retconning, because I mean, Dr. Light was a fucking throwaway villain in Teen Titans.
Right.
It made no sense that Dr. Light ever raped Sue Dibney. Okay, so everybody has an issue with that, right? Like, most people had an issue with that. Sue Dibney got raped by Dr. Light. So the whole morality thing comes into question. Superheroes would never mind wipe Dr. Light. And, even then I was okay. What I was not okay with was superheroes pretending like a rape never happened. That's what bothered me. And rereading this, it still kind of bothers me. That I never see in a million years, Green Arrow, these characters, my heroes, saying, well, you got raped, but let's keep quiet about that. He's mind wiped now. He's okay. Instead of sending him to prison or whatever consequence rapists get, let's just not talk about it again, because it's part of retconning.
Yeah.
So what Meltzer was trying to do, and I think he kind of succeeded in some ways, was humanize the characters. But humanizing superheroes is really difficult. I mean, there's only a few people that have ever been able to pull it off and pull it off correctly. I'm also not a big fan of the Mark Millar Civil War. But Alan Moore's Watchmen, I thought, was kind of a success in the way you humanize superheroes. Then there was some of just the story didn't make any sense. Have we talked about who did the killing? Have we revealed that yet?
No, let's talk about that though. Let's just get into the whole thing.
So before we talk about that, there is one fucking part that I hated, even as I was reading this, and rereading this made me think of this. All right, so there's this whole thing where Dr. Light is being chased by the heroes because everybody's like, we got to get Dr. Light. So for some fucking reason, Dr. Light knows before anybody that he's going to be chased by the heroes. So he hires Deathstroke. He gets the Calculator's help to hire Deathstroke the Terminator, a guy that has been taken out by Nightwing. And then we have this page. And this page is probably the most comical page in the entire book, where the dialogue says, it's Green Arrow, and he says, the Justice League teaches you to fight. Yeah, like a 5-year-old girl. Dog piling on a fucking bad guy. Give me a break, man. Like, I remember reading this the first time. I was like, who wrote this? This is shit. Like, you got Flash gnawing on his knees. Come on, man. Oh, and that's another thing, too, that pissed me off. Like, the very first thing, like, Deathstroke the Terminator does is take out the Flash. Like, he just knows the Flash is coming for him, so he holds his sword behind him. Flash, the fastest guy alive that can penetrate walls, vibrate through walls, runs into a fucking sword. No. Not my Justice League.
As somebody who's not like super in depth with the knowledge of DC Comics, I thought that was an awesome just fight and an awesome.
Right. If you're not familiar with these heroes and their powers, and like I said, he's trying to humanize them, I totally get it. But as a longtime reader, and I wasn't even that long time of a reader. I was just, I got into DC with I did get into Justice League right after Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I got into, Flash with Mark Waid's run and stuff like that. It was just really odd. Holding Green Lantern's hand, like, no, you're not going to use your ring. I'm like, I don't think that works. Why would Green Lantern even try to punch him instead of using his ring? That's just stupid. But anyway, so go ahead and let's get into the gene loring thing, because that's another thing that kind of aggravates me.
So I guess from this point, we're just going to just do full-on spoilers. So as we were saying before, it was Elongated Man's wife who gets murdered. Adam's wife gets hung, and they find her like at the last second and save her life.
Ex-wife. So that's very important.
Right.
What?
His ex-wife.
Ex-wife. Yeah, because she's a bitch lawyer who took everything from him took all of his patents and everything like that, which was weird. And then we have Captain Boomerang. This is a really good Captain Boomerang story because he connects with his son. So there's a lot of family elements into the story, of course. But then it turns out, dang, I forgot how they figured it out. I forgot where it came from. Oh, just when Robin's dad is killed, right before he's killed, he is given a package in the mail or in his house that has a gun and has a note that says "Protect yourself." Oh, and then also, speaking of notes, Lois Lane gets a note that says, "I know who your husband is," and the S in husband is drawn with a red letter S and a triangle around it, showing the Superman symbol. So now, Superman's wife, are they married at this time? No, they're not married, right?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. So now his wife is targeted. And one night, and this whole thing is really bringing Adam and his ex-wife kind of back together because they're worried for each other and everybody's worried about their families. And Adam's wife, Jean, says something about the note that was left with the gun for Tim Drake's dad. And that really sets Adam off. And Adam goes, "How do you know about the note? Batman took the note and nobody else really knows about this note." And right there sets off the story that it was Adam's wife, Jean, who orchestrated this entire thing. She's the one that killed Elongated Man's wife. She hung herself to kind of, I guess, get Adam to love her again. And I guess, of course, to kind of get any kind of spotlight away from her. And she actually hired, through the calculator, as we were saying earlier, hired Captain Boomerang to kill Tim Drake's dad. And the whole thing is set up because, like I said before, she took all of his patents. All of his, they even said in the story that a lot of his stuff is still in her house after the divorce. And she finds one of Adam's suits. And she uses that suit to shrink down through the phone lines that Adam seems to like to do a lot in an attempt to, I'm getting kind of fuzzy on this part. Was it just a scare Sue? Or just kind of knock her out or to do something to her?
She was trying to knock her out so that people could be like, "Oh my God, they're going after all our loved ones." That was the point.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Is her motivation for this whole thing, for killing Sue and setting all this up, is to get everybody to have sex or to just re-spark the relationships.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And that's where it kind of got me a little. That's part of the story where I kind of like lost it a little bit. So she accidentally gets so small that she gets into Sue's brain and touches parts of her brain. She doesn't know any better, I guess. That just basically kills her. And in the process of that, somehow I forgot where the storyline goes as well, but she somehow has a flamethrower with her, and she uses that to burn the body to like hide the evidence and kind of like, again, take people's sight off of what's really going on, not looking internally into her body, and just looked at that she was probably burnt to death. But that's the part where I kind of lost the idea that then all of a sudden Adam is just freaking out and just lost the whole situation.
So and, now that you brought that up, that was the other big issue I had with this. Is like it just didn't make any fucking sense for Jean to do anything like that. I mean, Jean Loring and Sue Dibney knew each other. So her idea, even though she left Ray, right? She's the one that left Ray. And okay, let's not even get into continuity. She wants to get her husband's affection back by threatening a friend. I mean, let's just it's ridiculous. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Adam suit on, a suit I have never worn, and I'm gonna walk on my friend's brain for the very first time I'm wearing this suit, just to knock her out a little bit. Nothing is gonna go wrong. And just in case, something goes wrong, I'm going to bring a fucking flamethrower with me. A flamethrower? So you knew something was going to go wrong if your ass is bringing a flamethrower. I'm a man that's a backup plan man, so I know when the shit goes wrong, I always bring a flamethrower. So yes, she brings a flamethrower because she accidentally kills, Sue Dibney, and she burns her. So now, oh, and I love the alibi part. Her alibi was her own husband, Ray. Right? But in the story itself, Ray was late to the dinner like an hour. How in the hell did she know that Ray was going to be late? Is the Atom notoriously known for being late to dinner? I don't know. Maybe it's me nitpicking. But when you're trying to humanize my superheroes, that's what happens, dude. And just, how does she know all these other superheroes, like, families? Like, there's no way. Nobody knows who Tim Drake is other than Batman, right? Even in the Batman mythos. This is before right before Teen Titans, so it wasn't like his identity was everywhere. Of all people, the Atom would know that Tim Drake is Robin, therefore his father. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, they just really played her up to be a really just dumb.
What would have made sense, honestly, if they were trying to do that, if it was Jean that was the one that was raped by Dr. Light. And that fucked her up so much that that's what she started, doing all these things. Because, she was trying to get her husband back, and she was trying to get all her friends back. Maybe that would have worked better. But the way that the story was told, it was just not good.
Yeah, they just really played her up to be pretty stupid of a person. I mean, just a bad person all around, obviously. But I mean, yeah, the whole thing with her bringing a flamethrower just as a precautionary tale. Like, I don't bring a flamethrower with me because I'm gonna go to the grocery store in case I hurt somebody and I gotta burn their bodies or something like that. And just that she thought that Adam was gonna be okay with it because she did it out of love and out of the idea of just having relationships being normal again and back together with one another. And it's how she thought Tim Drake's dad with the gun would be able to defend himself properly and kill Captain Boomerang. There's a lot of things that she just kind of just set up that just kind of just blew up in her face. And she seemed okay with it too afterwards. Like, well, like she...
Well, yeah, she was going crazy. She was going... Yeah. So I guess...
Well, I had an issue with her being sent to Arkham. Like, isn't Arkham in Gotham City? Why wasn't she sent to a... Where's Adam anyway? I just thought it was weird that she was sent to Arkham for the worst criminals on the planet, or sent, where the Joker is and the Riddler and everybody. But
that was to set up the, what was it, the Eclipso storyline, whatever Superman they were doing next. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, I really enjoyed the other series that came of this. I really like the Flash aftermath of this storyline, where Wally is just like at odds with himself because he doesn't believe that Barry would ever in a million years choose to mind wipe a villain, right? And then he finds out one of his own villains was mind wiped, and not to give anything away because everybody should read Flash. Identity, the one story that we were talking about, the JLA story by Jeff Johns, the Crisis of Conscience with Batman, the one, I love that story. And even the JSA tie-in with Dr. Midnight trying to figure out who the real killer is. I thought that was really well done.
I thought that was due.
Now
I need to read those backup books now.
Oh, you do, man.
I want to know what else is going on. Good. Just with her going to Arkham, I want to know what happened. Like, that's.
Oh yeah, that's in. I think the outcome of that is in Superman, the Eclipso story.
Yeah. No, like just saying, it's kind of fucked up that she goes to Arkham just because she's not like a super villain. Like she doesn't have powers. She doesn't have. I mean, Batman's people don't really have powers, but she's not like a career criminal kind of thing either to go into Arkham.
Yeah, she needs serious therapy.
But I really liked Meltzer's Justice League. I thought Meltzer's Justice League, because I wasn't expecting to like his Justice League based on this book. But I really enjoyed it, like Tornado Path, and then the Lightning Strikes storyline with the JSA. I thought that was a really good story.
Didn't he do Green Arrow after Kevin Smith as well? Or is that somebody else?
You know, I really want to say he did Green Arrow before he was working on this book. I want to say Green Arrow may have been his first book published, but I don't know about that. Yeah, and I liked his run on Green Arrow. I thought it was good. It was short, but it was good. It's not to say that Meltzer was just a bad writer. I just did not like this storyline because, like I said, like it's really difficult when you try to humanize superheroes. At least for me, it is.
How about this then? Because I know some people were asking, why do you think it's called Identity Crisis? Where is that stemming from, you think? Because to me, I think the identity part of it all is the Dr. Light stuff, with them changing his identity and his personality.
Oh. Yeah, okay. That's one aspect. I thought the other aspect was, oh shit, everybody knows my secret identity, therefore Lois is in danger.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought too.
I think that's better than the one I thought of.
No, I don't know. They both work together.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one or the other. I think they're both right. And I think you picked a great book, Gabe, because one thing you wanted to get done was get viewers involved, and the chat is heavily involved. I mean, I can't answer. Yeah. I mean, and they're discussing it amongst themselves, which I think is great, which is exactly what you wanted. While watching us, they're discussing it amongst themselves, and I think that's just a great idea that you had to have a like book of the week thing where the viewers can discuss it amongst themselves or while watching us. So yeah, it's worked out really well.
Yeah,
like I said, you kicked it off with a book that I know people either love, really hate, or I think it's hardly anybody really in between that kind of fits. Like, oh, it was okay. It really is an extreme of both ends. Like, people either love it or they hate it.
It's too bad because I really like it, you know, and I can see where people are coming from with, you know, if they're so attached to the DC universe and the characters.
Right, and honestly, at the end of the fucking day, who the hell cares what I think? I like fucking Avengers: The Crossing.
No, your points were valid though, Omar. We care what you think.
Well, I mean,
your points were all valid.
No, I'm saying my point is, as long as you enjoy the story, who cares? Doesn't matter. Own that shit, man. You like whatever you like. The Crossing or fucking Super Pro or fucking
Super Pro. That's the next reading assignment.
Crossed or whatever shitty book Gabe likes.
It was Super Pro because I was talking so much shit about it at work. we found like 3 copies of it and we sent them into CGC just because.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think we sent like 3 or 4 copies in just because.
No way, you. No,
yeah, we send in so much stuff to CGC. It's outrageous, like our CGC stuff that we send in all the time. Like we must have sent in like probably 200 items over the weekend, just for the store itself. I would say, maybe a ton of Spawn stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do this again. Another like just book that, you know, that can spark discussion. That's why, you know, we did something that was polarizing. A lot of people suggested in the chat, like Infinity Gauntlets or Avengers Disassemble. Maybe something we could do that, you know, again later down the line too.
I can down with some Gauntlet. Avengers Disassembled is another one I may tear up. Like
I haven't read that, so.
Oh no,
like I didn't.
I have not. No.
Really? Honestly, I think that's a really good jumping on point for people that don't know much about Avengers. Was always my suggestions, like Avengers is the symbol and New Avengers.
No, that's the one I always suggest when people want to know where to start reading comics. But this is like pre AVX and pre Secret Wars and stuff like that. I always said, you know, follow the events, you know, so it'd be like Avengers Disassembled, House of M, Secret War, you know, and stuff like that leading up into Siege, and then AVX and stuff like that. That was kind of my reading order for newcomers. Now that's a little bit different. I don't really know much about Marvel anymore because after Secret Wars, I kind of fell off. But
Jim Mint said JL New Frontier. I love that book.
I love that book too.
I've never read it.
I want to find one of us has to hate it. It's got to be Gabe. Gabe's got like, man, that book sucks. Fucking Darwin Cook, rest in peace. That book sucks.
No, I haven't read New Frontier yet. So, I mean, again, yeah, I like the idea of Infinity Gauntlet, of course, and Avengers Disassembled. Since Jess hasn't read it.
Yeah, I do have it though, so that'd be good. I'd be happy to read that.
Yeah, well, let's do that then. Let's do Identity Crisis.
You want to have it for next month?
Yeah, we can do it next month. You want to do it once a month?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Wait, what are we doing? Just Avengers Disassemble? Just the Avengers, right? Because I have the hardcover that has all the.
Do you have a different reading?
No.
Or what?
I'm good with Avengers Disassemble. Man, I'm gonna end up like the hater on this fucking show.
Omar the hater.
You bring up like legitimate.
That book sucks. Let me tell you why I think it sucks.
Yeah, but you don't just say it sucks. You give reasons why you didn't like it, and you back them up with valid points. So that is
right. It's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, we need that to have a good
Yeah. I mean, you're not saying like, oh, you like Identity Crisis? It sucks. You suck. Kids smell funny, or anything like that. This is what it's all about. You're very, very well. You probably got more knowledge than a lot of us on the show about this kind of stuff. So you're bringing up super valid points.
Oh, now you're putting me up on a pedestal. I do not belong in. That's all Jess, man.
No,
Jess has the knowledge and the looks. I've got the beer.
You've got the beer and the buzz.
That's right.
I don't have anything.
You got the height.
Yeah, I got the height. Yeah, sure. I'm the giant. Okay. So that said, are we all done? Because that was an awesome discussion. I don't want to cut you guys off if we have more to say about this.
No, do you all want to open it up to questions from the chat?
No, I actually want to go over this week's releases.
Oh my god, dude! How long is this episode?
I gotta go get my power cord if we're gonna do that.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. This week's releases.
It's pretty quick. I think Tyler says show that book again. I think he must be talking about Avengers Disassembled. This will be probably next month's review or her book assignment. I think it's still in print. This is the hardcover, but this book is easily available in softcover. I know for sure. It collects. It doesn't even say on here, does it?
Yeah, that's just Avengers, for the final Avengers, and then the Avengers finale. I think it was like 497, 496 to 500, and then Avengers finale.
No, it's 500 through 503.
Oh, that's right, 503. Yeah, that's what it is.
So this is the book.
500 is the big one.
Right. This is the book where Bendis kind of just destroyed everybody's universe for Marvel. This is his.
Yeah, that was the book that was like, if you love Avengers.
Yeah, this is the book where Bendis literally just kicked down your door and pissed on your carpet, kind of thing. He got so much hate mail and so much people still hate this book, and this is at least 15 years old.
So that's available in trade paperback. It's also the first part of the Avengers. Omnibus Volume 1. It's also hardcover and then oversized hardcover. So it's available in a lot of formats. And it's in the first complete collection.
Oh yeah, they're doing those trade those thick trade collections now too. So
yeah, I just looked at Amazon.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Now you can stop talking about me.
We never stop talking about you.
Never.
So we're going over this week's solicitations?
That's what Gabe wants to do.
On Wednesday. Just so everybody has an idea of what to F5 on IST for all day long until it shows up.
Jim Mint is part of the New Avengers Volume 1. The Bendis New Avengers Volume 1 Omnibus. That little 4-part storyline.
Which one?
Avengers Assemble. It's collected in that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
People were asking on the chat. So I guess that's what we're reading, huh? Motherfuckers, I suggested reading Avengers The Crossing just so I could go out and like have a bunch of people buy Avengers The Crossing.
Well, we can do that, February.
Nobody. You are going to be busting my balls about that.
I'm going to have a migraine that night.
All right,
it's so good.
I'll screen share this and then bring up. That's not it. This is it. We'll go through this pretty quick because it's a short week. There's some big books to talk about, but we'll just get through all this. So here's the releases for December 6th, this Wednesday.
Fucking Nemo is right.
These are all the graphic novels, trade paperbacks, and everything coming out this week. So from Dark Horse, we have something. I don't know what the hell Blood Blockade is. That sounds like a heart attack. DC's got a pretty big week. Birds of Prey, Volume 2, trade paperback from Rebirth. Batman and Robin Adventures, Volume 2. Batman Court of Owls. I guess it's called Noir, but it's usually like the unwrapped stuff is just like the black and whites of Greg Capullo's artwork. Green Arrow, Volume 4.
I'll be getting that.
From Rebirth. And then the book I'm definitely 100% going to be getting this week is the Jack Kirby Fourth World Omnibus hardcover. This is the big book for the week, for sure.
Yeah.
How many pages is that, Gabe, real quick?
I think it's 1,500. Everybody was saying 1,500 plus.
1,500 is $150. You're literally paying
10 cents.
Math is hard. 10 cents a page. Yeah, sure. Damn you, alcohol.
Here you go, Omar. Justice League of America, the Detroit era omnibus.
Not me, Cat, man. That's pre-crisis. So that's Jess.
No, not me either. That's Bronze Age. I don't read Bronze Age JLA. Not a big fan of it.
Justice League Power Rangers hardcover. Shazam New Beginning 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition hardcover. Suicide Squad Volume 7. Is this?
Who wrote that? That's not. Oh, that's Ostrander.
Yeah, that's Ostrander stuff.
That's good.
Yeah, I think they need one more trade paperback, and that finishes out all the Suicide Squad from that era. I'm happy about that. Let's go DC. Don't stop.
That collects 50 through 58 of that series.
Good. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Teen Titans Go Volume 4. And then we got Watchmen, like the millionth edition of Watchmen out there. But this is the annotated edition. So it has a bunch of notes and things like that regarding the storyline and the art. If anybody wants to get that, that's fine. I would suggest getting it if you haven't read Watchmen before. And if you have read Watchmen before, just read Watchmen. There's plenty of annotated, text pieces on the internet. I think there's even is it Kieran Gillen who did like a YouTube video of him just annotating all of Watchmen as well, I believe.
Hey, John Squared said that guy's a dickhead. I don't want to read that.
IDW, Donald Duck Kingdom Under the Sea trade paperback. Judge Dredd Mega City Zero Micronauts. I'm just going to go through this. There's nothing on IDW I care about. I don't know about you guys. A couple turtle things, but nothing of importance.
If only those Micronauts were reprints of the Marvel comics, then that would make me happy. But
that cool Michael Golden art, yeah.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Image got I Hate Fairyland.
Ooh, I'm getting that, and I'm getting Rocket Girl. Rocket Girl's great.
I think IST has their own variant for I Hate Fairyland also.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, I'll be picking that up.
Shirtless Bear Fighter. I've heard good things about that. Youngblood, new version. I don't care. It's not Rob Liefeld's Youngblood from the 90s. I don't care.
Wow. That's awesome. Never thought I would hear anybody say, if it's not Rob Liefeld, I don't care.
Yeah, come on. Marvel's got a big week. There's some big books here. Black Bolt Cable, but then you got Captain America by Mark Waid, which is great. I never thought we would see this thing get printed. All
over that. That is the 4th time I'm buying this book, by the way. Bought the singles, bought the original trade, bought the hardcover, buying the Omni. I'm an idiot.
You are Captain Upgrade.
So this collects Captain America Volume 1 from 444 through 454.
Right. Then you had the Heroes Return, or I'm sorry, Heroes Reborn thing.
No, Heroes Return.
Yeah. No, Heroes Reborn, and then Heroes Return.
Okay, and then we got 1 through 23.
Yeah.
Jimmy Owens says, "Is it Jess? What are you asking? Is it? Are you asking me if Rocket Girl is great? If you're asking me if Rocket Girl is great, the answer is yes. Get Volume 1 and 2, and you will be happy."
Let me bring this up. I can't see everything that's in here. And then you get Captain America or Iron Man Captain America Annual 98. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty 1 through 12. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The rough cut and material from Captain America, The Legend, and Captain America Red, White, and Blue. And this is all some really good artists on here. Dale Eaglesham, Andy Kubert. Ron Gardner is listed as a writer, but I think that might be incorrect. I'm pretty sure he was the artist on here as well.
He was.
Yeah. So that's some good stuff.
So if I haven't read this Captain America, I should be getting it?
Oh, God, yeah. Jess,
You'll be okay with it, yeah.
Blind buy. Dude, it's $125. That's a blind buy.
That's 75
whiskey talking.
No. In all honesty, that is, besides Brubaker, I'm sorry, somebody corrected me a few weeks ago, Brubaker's run, Mark Waid's run is the definitive Captain America run.
Oh, okay.
I
love the run that
I haven't read it at all.
It kept getting canceled and moved around because of Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, he came on the tail of Mark Grunwald. Mark Grunwald had been writing the character for 10 years, and then he became Super Cap with that armor because he was dying, and then so it was like Mark Waid came out of nowhere and picked up that character and made him a complete badass again. He reintroduced old characters like Sharon Carter, brought back the Red Skull. I don't know. I fell in love with that book. But like I said, there's that little bit of gap in there where Captain America was sold to Rob Liefeld, so there was that Heroes Reborn, or Heroes, no, it was Heroes Reborn. I was right.
Yeah, it's Heroes Reborn, and then
he came back as Captain America Volume 1. Yeah.
They stripped that from like Mark Waid's hands, just like out of nowhere. They said, sorry, this is going over to Rob Liefeld, and you're done for now.
Yep.
Ooh, Doctor Strange hardcover. That's by Jason Aaron.
Yeah, that's the Jason Aaron stuff. That's 1 through 10, and Last Days of Magic 1. Oh man, see, I'm gonna get just the Fourth World thing, and these ones I'm gonna have to just pick up throughout the month. Like, I'm not gonna get a big old haul. I can't.
Oh, holy smoke! X-Men Classic too.
And X-Men Classic.
Yeah, I'm excited about that book.
Yeah.
That's a book I've had pre-ordered for months now.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of questions as to what is in X-Men Classic, and it's just pretty much it's the director's cut of X-Men Omnibus Volume 1 and 2. It's the supplemental stuff that fills in those gaps that Chris Claremont wrote, and I believe there's going to be some letter pages too, or some essays by Chris Claremont in there. So I'm excited about that because they still have that Chris Claremont contract. He can't write for any other company, so they got to keep the man busy, even though he's not reading comics.
Yeah, they pay him to even if he doesn't write anything. I think they still pay him. So
yeah, him and a few other. There's a couple other writers that they still do that with, but hey, I'm okay if it's Chris Claremont.
Yeah, so I should read that concurrently with Claremont 1 and 2.
Yeah,
X-Men Classic.
So what it does, it's like it modernizes some of the origins. Like there are some pages redrawn and rewritten, like the origin of Storm, And then there's backup pages too by John Bolton that were like the first sort of appearance of Sabretooth versus Wolverine before Mutant Massacre took place in Classic X-Men #10, things like that.
Yeah, so what it was is when
or who gave, like, Apocalypse gave a supervillain armor, even though Apocalypse didn't show up until like 1986, but the supervillain was like from 1980. So it's pretty cool. I like the.
I heard it was really great. That these are the backup stories, right?
Backup stories and then like redrawn and retold pages. Yeah.
Right. I've heard nothing but great things, that this was a big deal that it got an Omni.
When X-Men was canceled, they just reprinted the issues over and over again, and they just had a bunch of really cool backup material in it. So this is that backup material.
Arthur Adams doing that beautiful front page, even though it's recolored. You know, it's just the cover.
But that's a classic Art Adams. Like, I had a poster of that on my wall as a kid.
Yeah, I think we all did growing up in the 80s and 90s. We all had that classic X-Men #1 poster.
That was our.
And I hope they include all the classic X-Men covers too. Like the Mignola ones, the Paul Smith ones, all those.
Jessica will know this. I'm trying to think. What was that famous poster? Farrah Fawcett. This is like our Farrah Fawcett poster.
I had that.
In their on their wall.
In my my college room freshman year. I had that up on my wall. Totally.
Except me and Gabe were jerking off to classic X-Men posters.
well, not together, but yeah.
Oh man, Polaris, is that you in the back? It's good Arthur Adams art, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff. And then let's see, independent stuff coming up.
I know there's a big book for me in the independent stuff, which I guess is Fantagraphics.
Yeah, I mean, we got Baby Teeth.
Baby Teeth's supposed to be good.
Yeah. We had the writer. He's a really cool guy, Donnie Cates. He was at the store yesterday. He's a really cool dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be good.
Lumberjanes. That's a fun book. I like that. The Phantom Complete Dailies hardcovers from 1953 to 1954. I really like Phantom. I don't know what it is about that character, but I really like that character.
Because he was in the Defenders of the Earth, man. That's why.
No, because of Phantom 2040. Remember that cartoon?
Defenders of the Earth. I remember that. Okay. Had the kick-ass opening theme.
Here's something that Justin probably like. Wet Moon. Here's some like lesbian action for you.
What now?
That sounds even. It sounds really dirty, but I love it. Wet Moon.
What? Yeah. What is that?
It's like a girl who kind of like discovers herself, kind of coming up storyline, but it's like lesbian action and stuff.
Is it because I read Sunstone? Is that? Oh no, I guess Sunstone and Bombshells. I am getting the rep for liking the lesbian stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the Whiteout Compendium. That's gonna down at the bottom. That's pretty big.
Cool. Is this a soft cover? I wonder.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only $20.
That works. But yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and
doing. Sharing.
I thought the Don Rosa, Uncle Scrooge, and Donald Duck Volume 7 and 8 box set was coming out next week.
Well, sorry. I had nothing I can do about that.
I said I thought. Okay, my bad.
All right, so you guys want to just open this up for let's do some Q&A for the chat. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the chat and we'll answer your questions. We're going to just do this for the next couple of minutes before we call it a night. But in the meantime, we have 31 people watching and just 14 thumbs up. So give us some thumbs up here, people.
Now everybody's going to give us a thumbs down.
That's fine. Either way, it all works to help us get found more on YouTube. So,
Benjamin, I think it is a reprint because the whiteout hardcover is way out of print. So it's a soft cover reprint of the whole thing for whiteout.
I'm tired, man. Wow.
Wow, look at all the thumbs up we've got. Like, that's crazy. You just
There you
made
go.
you just made an announcement and everybody started thumbing up. That's
Thanks, everybody. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Now we're at 23, 24.
Yeah, I just added a
23 and a thumbs down. That's probably John P, you dick.
No, that was me. I was just fucking with you. That was me. Just wanted to, throw a little flame in there. I am up to date on the Walking Dead. I am up to date on the Walking Dead.
I got a question. I have a question. You guys are up to date on X-Men, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever sub, Jess? That's a good question.
I don't think you did. I never got that notification.
To Omnibros? I don't think I did.
Wow, what a prick.
I just did it. I thought I subbed to Gio's channel months ago, and it turns out I didn't.
So Connor, I'm still digging Walking Dead. I'm digging it. I'm digging the new little character that showed up recently. The princess. She's a little Latina. Yeah, it's still fun. I've always thought that book was fun. They're always changing up the main cast. Characters die. The cast is always changing. So I always think it's fun. So it's still keeping the same flavor.
So you're up to date on X-Men. Is Professor X still dead?
Maybe. Astonishing X-Men, as much as I do not like that book, might be bringing him back. I think it's the last issue I read had a cliffhanger where he might be coming back. And honestly, it's one of these stupid death returns that I have no idea how they're even pulling off. Because Red Skull had his brain, but now he's fighting the Shadow King in this telepathic chess match, and then part of me just like, why do I even read this shit anymore? It makes no sense. Like it makes absolute no sense. Like, how can they even bring him back? Well, fuck it, I don't care. Whatever. But yes, I'm still.
Did I ask you what book did I ask you about this week? I think it's coming out, or no, it's already out. Was it Generation X?
You did. You asked Riley and I about Generation X. Riley happens to like it. I think it's okay.
You think it's okay? All right.
I just don't like any of the new characters because I really don't care. They're not written. As far as I like, I don't like their personalities. There's nothing genuine about them or unique about them. The only reason I'm reading him is because Chamber and Jubilee and M, who was last seen in X Factor, still kind of appear.
Okay. Yeah. Curtis Mensforth is Fear Agent coming back in print. I think Remender was just on Twitter the past couple days saying yes.
Was it out of print, the library editions, or the?
Yeah, I think the library editions. One of them, I believe, went out of print, but I think it's. Remender was quoted as saying it's coming back into print.
Oh, good.
I think
it's a book that should always be in print.
Yeah,
I still think that's my favorite Remender. That's definitely to me, it's his magnum opus. I love that.
Yeah, book. Yeah. Oh yeah, Fear Agent's great, Jimmy Owens. We all love it.
Yeah, it's one of those books that he definitely has a formula that he sticks to, the whole death but I think in that particular book he just does it so well. I loved it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the books that gets universally liked is Fear Agent.
Yeah, so no reading assignment for Fear Agent, or we're all going to sound like a repetitive, broken record.
Yeah, it's good. We're all going to be sucking Remender's ass in that one.
I love that you went with ass. Wow.
I changed it up a little.
Nice.
Orion Omnibus by Walt Simonson is awesome. Mike F.
I've never read that.
Yeah, it's a completely different storyline than Jack Kirby's stuff. So it needs to be read after Jack Kirby's. Or you could read it by itself if you have knowledge of Orion. But, yeah, it's a great book. Foot Soldiers. I don't know that book. Has anybody read that book?
Never heard of it.
I haven't either.
Oh, just real quick. James Robinson strolled into the store this weekend.
Does he live in Las Vegas?
Yeah. Yeah, he lives in Vegas. He strolled into the store to say hi to Greg and Scott, right? So I asked him about Starman, and he said now that he's back at DC, it seems like there's a better chance of it happening, a reprint happening now that he's back.
Oh, good.
That'd be great.
That
book always
it's
happening, but he's saying that now it's a better chance now that he's back with them and everything. That's my question for everybody. Was like, what's going on with an omnibus? What's going on with reprints of this? What's going on with reprints of that? You know, he even said that he would bring those books to like cons, the hardcovers, and charge like $100 and would feel bad about it, but they would sell out instantly. So you know, he's all about it too.
I like the Cameron Flynn is asking Frank Miller or Alan Moore.
For what? Who do I want to party with?
Who do you want to bang? No.
I was going to say, what am I supposed to do with them?
No, the writing. Who do you prefer? I assume. Yeah.
I'm going to say Miller, just because he's a comic book fan who still loves comics and loves other people's comics. I think. While a lot of Alan Moore stuff is, this is probably the word of the day, but pretentious, and it seems to really kind of go above your head on a lot of things.
I'm going to go with Alan Moore because he reminds me of like your crazy grandpa that used to tell really good stories, but then eventually just fell into dementia and fucking lost it. And, you know, kind of reminiscent of the shell that he used to be.
But I mean, Alan Moore did Watchmen, and I'll always love him for that.
Oh, he did Swamp Thing. He did League.
Prometheus.
He did a lot of good books, right? It's just that he stopped loving and caring about what he did or what he stood for.
Right. Well, he's also the guy that says that nobody can write books better than him, kind of thing.
And Jimmy Owens, I don't know if I could fucking hang with Alan Moore as far as partying with him. I think that guy could outdrink and outsnort me. I don't think I could party with Alan Moore.
I couldn't either.
No, and Frank Miller is sober now, so you know there's no luck with that.
Oh yeah, Tom Strong and Top 10 are both awesome.
From Hell is awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good Alan Moore stories. Shit,
yeah.
His Supreme story was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's like the best Superman story that never was.
I loved it. It was like, oh, what's this character about? Yeah, all those 25 issues you've been reading about Supreme, he was just a robot. This is the real Supreme.
I'm going to answer Alan Moore now that we're talking about this more. I mean, Frank Miller did Dark Knight, Year One, and Daredevil, and outside of that, I don't know. Sin City, I think is the last stuff I really liked from him. Maybe his RoboCop run that he did because he wrote the RoboCop.
Maybe
RoboCop 2.
RoboCop 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Miller has his stories though. There were some amazing stories that he wrote. Yeah, Born Again. Who's a better wizard, Moore or Morrison?
I couldn't party with Morrison either.
No way, man. I'm not mind-altering drug shit. Couldn't do that.
Definitely Moore. I think Moore would be the better wizard.
I like Morrison more. Like, I met him. He's an awesome dude, but yeah.
I think there was another question in here.
Somebody asked about Metabarons. I've never read Metabarons.
Oh, that's kind of a not follow-up, but a spin-off of Inkle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Metabarons. Yeah,
I love them. Yeah, I love the artwork in that, and I like it so much that I ended up buying the recent run, which has Travis Charest as artist. And apparently, Travis Charest is loved in Europe so much he's still making comics over there every once in a while, as opposed to just making covers here in America.
Well, isn't he back doing? Well, he's doing covers for.
Covers, yeah.
X-Men Red, right? That
Geekdom book? I think he did a cover for that, and that's about it. Yeah, but he's still working on that Metabarons.
I love his Watchmen, Wildcats 2.0. I think that stuff was great.
Oh yeah, it's like he started off as a Jim Lee, kind of a Jim Lee clone, and then he developed this beautiful fucking style. I love that guy. I wish he could keep a monthly schedule. Shit, I'd even buy a miniseries with him drawing it, but he just, I guess he makes enough money doing European comics.
Sure. Go where the money is.
What book should Bendis do? I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but I think both Gabe and I said the Gotham Central.
That'd be great.
How about a Superman book? Do you think he'd be good at writing Superman?
I've seen he's been posting a lot of pictures of like Superman related omnibus. So I mean, or hardcovers and stuff like that. So I think he could end up doing Superman sooner or later.
I bet $10 he ends up writing Superman.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I think the new Thor Simonson has fixed those binding issues.
Yeah, it has.
I've got the original. It's got the binding issues, but the new one I think has fixed them.
Yeah, no, the new one here. I got the new one right here. It's sewn. Trying to get a good shot of it. Yeah, it's sewn. And it has a wraparound cover, so that's badass.
I've got the original one, and I never had any issues with it.
And it's not so thick either. I mean, it's still pretty massively thick, but the other one was like very like cumbersome to kind of hold and read or anything.
Yeah, it's a big book.
I think it's gonna be about the size of the fourth row. It's supposed to be bigger, I think, right? I'm not exactly sure the pages on the Thor Simonson, but I think the Kirby fourth row is going to be the largest omnibus ever for to date.
Let it breathe. Shorty Larson's asking about the recoloring. I know some people have issues with it, but I thought it was done quite well. The Thor, the Walter Simonson Thor.
Okay.
Is it recolored?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. Mine's still in the wrapper and not breathing, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Fake reader.
Open it up. Quit reading Avengers Disassemble for like the 10th time and read some Thor.
I'm still going to finish reading 100 Bullets, and then I'm going to move on to... I don't know. I got so much I can read. I think to move on and start reading some more stuff.
I'm going to spoil 100 Bullets for you. It ends at issue 100.
No, I've read it. I used to have all the singles.
Yeah, I love that story. Yeah, I think I agree, Benjamin. I think that Simonson's story is probably the best recoloring in the industry, as far as like modernizing colors.
I don't know. Maybe I'll move on. I think maybe I'll read the Absolute Justice League Avengers. I think that'd be my next read, probably.
You own that? That's another book I'm missing. Damn it! I need to get that book. I keep forgetting to put that.
I bought that years ago. That and Absolute Infinite Crisis.
You know how it just this goes back in. This goes back to the downside of being a cheap ass. So I was at a convention last day, Sunday, so that's where the good deals are, right? Yeah. This guy had the JLA Avengers book, and I'm like, oh, I want that. Keep in mind, this is probably about 7 years ago. It was out of print, and he had it marked down for $50. And I'm like, hey, man, all I have is $30 left. Will you take 30? And he was like, he didn't even like think about it. He was like, no. And I was like, fuck you, man. That book is never going to be worth $50. I should have bought it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, look how beautiful it is. Check it out. Mine's signed by George Perez.
Oh, yeah, shut up. It was definitely I just walked away because I was like, I'm not going to buy it. This guy won't even go down $5. I don't want to hear it. Probably should have bought it, but I'm sure I'll run into it somewhere in my many adventures.
That's cool, man. It's got the original JLA Avengers that George Perez did but never finished.
Oh, Tyler's here.
Tyler Blunt.
Guy.
What up, Tyler?
How you doing, buddy?
Shout out to his channel.
Yeah, man.
Super Squad D.
Checked it out. Two of the nicest guys on YouTube ever, giving away shit all the time. Great guy.
That's right. I've donated to that channel.
Texas, Jess.
What's that?
So you can write that off on your taxes now.
I'm gonna write off every omnibus and absolute I buy off my taxes.
Yeah, for show purposes, right?
And I work in
research.
Store.
I'm gonna write in my fucking shitty identity crisis copy that I'm supposed to maybe reread this. Hated it the first time around.
Oh no, is that it? Or we gonna stay a little bit longer?
Well, gee, Tyler just got here. Tyler, ask us some questions.
Yeah, Tyler, what's on your mind, buddy?
And again, you know, just so everybody know, we are on iTunes as well. You can actually download this entire video to your phone or iPod or whatever thing you use for video podcast, and you can watch it or listen to it in your car, at work, and still see all the stuff that we've been talking about. You can still look at the video, look at our hauls, and look at the all that beautiful Rags Morales artwork we were talking about earlier.
Who is your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Raphael.
Angela.
I don't read Ninja Turtles. I suck.
Wow, really? Yes. Like, you haven't read any of it?
No. Never read a single. I mean, the only Ninja Turtles I've read was the crossover in Uzagi Yojimbo.
Yeah, I was going to say, when the original Ninja Turtles debuted, like back in '87, you were well into your... So, how did you not pick those up?
It just didn't appeal to me. Ninja Turtles, I was just like, Ninja Turtles? I don't think so. And I've always felt that way. Tyler Blunt, you can tell everything you need to know about a person from knowing who their favorite turtle is. So I suck as a person.
So it means that I'm the jerk hothead, apparently.
I know what Jess needs from Santa now.
Yeah, I need a good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book. Get me into the Turtles. I'm open to it.
Dude, the IDW run is solid. If you've never read it, any of them, I think the retelling of Ninja Turtles is doing a good job. Because
those are those big hardcovers they've got.
Original ones by
great
Eastman and Laird, but creators, yeah, Tolga, you're right. One of the original creators is. Yeah, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Kevin Eastman no longer has the rights to this series, so he's doing this to like work for hire.
Because he sold his rights years ago.
He sold his rights a long time ago to Peter Laird, and then Peter Laird recently sold the rights or whatever contract.
You know, they're still kind of working together, doing covers and stuff. But yeah, I really love that run.
You've got me intrigued now.
And the Mirage stuff.
Read that Justice League.
I love the Mirage stuff, the black and white stuff. Like, they have oversized hardcovers of that too from IDW, and they're awesome.
So the new series is in color?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Have one type of pizza for the rest of your life. See, that's why Tyler needs
to ask the hard
questions. Ask the important questions. Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's easy. Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Jalapenos and pineapple.
No meat?
No, pineapple. The pepperoni. So pepperoni, pineapple, jalapenos.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm okay with that.
I'd say a pepperoni pizza from any pizza shop in New York City, like Ray's or John's or something like that.
Definitely ham, jalapenos. That's about it. Yeah, like so, almost close to what you said. Bacon thrown in there, or what Canadians just call bacon.
Pineapple on pizza is amazing.
Do you have the TMNT books, Gabe?
Yeah, I got the first 3. No, the first 2 actually.
Can you show me one?
Yeah.
I've got all 5 of them. Hold on. Oh wait.
Oh wait, you're not home. We can tell because you're not surrounded by all those porn statues.
Just has enough for everybody, though. So this is volume 1. It is. I don't think they're oversized, or are they? They are.
Oh, whoa.
What's it up to? Like
There's about 18 issues in each hardcover.
They're a little bit smaller than a Marvel Omnibus.
Okay.
A little bit shorter, I should say. There's no slipcase, there's no dust jacket or any of that stuff, but just beautiful, beautiful front hardcover, beautiful back hardcover. The spines are greatly done, where it looks like they're weapons, with like the ribbon around their weapons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love that. It has. We were talking about before. IDW has ribbons, so they have a ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
And some interior artwork. It's really good story. They reimagined the origin of the turtles in this. The original origin for the turtles is they were pet turtles that fell down the sewer because this canister fell out of a truck and crushed the kids' like fishbowl that had the turtles in them. So the canister and the turtles fell into the sewer, and that canister was full of something called ooze that made them anamorphic and smart and all this stuff. Well, at the same time, down in the sewer, there is... Well, the origin is different, however you look at it. One origin has it where it was a rat that was down there, got caught up in the ooze and became smart and stuff like that and learned karate. Or there's another origin that shows that it was a man living down there who was a martial arts expert and turned into a rat. Either way, he taught the turtles how to fight and ninjutsu and all that kind of stuff. In this book, they are reincarnated ninjas from Japan who have died and somehow were reincarnated as turtles.
Cool.
And their dad was reincarnated as a rat. So Splinter is literally their dad. And the turtles are their son. They're just reincarnated ninjas as turtles and rats.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, you should check it out, Jess. You like good stories.
I do.
It's solid. That, and I'm going to hijack one of these episodes one day and talk about Transformers IDW because brilliant. As many Latinos as we've had on this damn Omnibros channel, I have none of you talked about Transformers. Fucking represent, man.
I love the Phase 2 stuff. Phase 2 stuff is great. Same thing, has a ribbon. This is IDW to me. I always say they make the best hardcovers. Like just the presentation. There's no stupid dust jacket. It's all printed on. It's stupid. Great paper.
Loved my dust jackets.
All that stuff. And the hardcovers are $50 for Turtles and Transformers Phase 2. They're $50, so you get them easily for $25 on in-stock trades. And I got the first 3 of that Phase 2 books. And I love it because the Phase 2 stuff isn't just Megatron and Optimus. It's Hot Rod and other kind of like B, C-list Transformers you probably never heard of, going through space trying to find their creators. I'm gonna say, if I remember correctly, I haven't read it in a while.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, I mean, on the ship they have
I got that one. I got that one. That should be our required reading. Everybody go out and buy Transformers.
That'd be cool. Hey, man, we fucking got a laundry list of fucking books now, so yeah. All right, so are we good? I'm ready to get out of here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm good, guys.
All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Jess, where can everybody find you, sir?
They can find me on my YouTube channel, OmniDog's Vault, and you can subscribe there, like me, ask me questions, whatever. I'm also going to be doing an Instagram here shortly. And you can find me on Ryleymo's Facebook page, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community.
And Omar, where can everybody find you at, brother?
Hey guys, if you haven't lost any faith in me, I still do like good books. I'm sorry I did not like Christ. You can find me on my channel, Near Mint Condition. And somebody was asking earlier if the G.I. Joe IDW is good, and it is okay at best.
All right, and then everybody, you could find me here on YouTube as well as Gabe Infinity Watch. Gabe Infinity Watch on the Instagram and Twitter under Gabe Infinity. I'm also, same with Jess and Omar, on the Facebook group for the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Trade. What's in the box? Anal bleach group.
Will you split up the set?
Yeah, we split up the set. Do you ship internationally?
Right.
Yeah, so subscribe to my channel. Check us out. I will be getting I should be getting the Fourth World Omnibus. I'll do a video of that and some photo bait and all that kind of fun stuff as well. So
yeah, you'll be getting it way before the rest of us.
Yeah, I should. I'm pretty sure we have it on order. I know I ordered it, and I hope I get it on time. But either way, I'm totally gonna.
Jimmy Owens, you see what he said, Omar?
I sure did. Be making some Grant Morrison clones.
All right, so there we go. That's it for this episode, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Out of here. Thanks again so much. Take care. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Have a great day.
Good night, guys.
Peace and love.